Hey fellow artists, it's a beautiful evening tonight. I'm right outside of the workshop, just getting ready for a short session. I've been wanting to get in here all day, but Lawrence and I had quite a few errands to run in town that took longer than we thought, and it isn't until now that I got enough done in town and then at home to get out here into the workshop. But welcome to an evening in North Florida. The moon is quite beautiful today, and I did start a little bit of a smoke fire to keep the insects outside of the workshop. It seems to have sort of died out. Let's see if we could get these oak logs smoking up again to keep the mosquitoes out of the workshop. Gonna need some. I have plenty of cardboard to burn, but I'm not sure that I want to go back into the house and get it. What do you think, Frank? Frank is here. Hey. Let's see how far we can get without the mosquitoes getting too involved. All right. Here we are in the workshop. And so, one of the things that I had to do in town was find Wendy a replacement box. There's no salvaging that engraving, folks. I mean, the top MDF layer looked beautiful, but these layers of MDF underneath, they're not so pretty. So what we're going to do this evening is do what we did with, we're going to continue our engraving on metal leaf experiment. So this was the cat currency engraving attempt number 1. Engraving attempt number 2, way too smoky for that design. We're gonna try design number 2 again, but after we gild this box. Now, but in town, I did get Wendy a brand new Tabak Especial box. So tomorrow we'll be scraping off to the first layer of MDF on this Tabak, and I know what settings to use for Wendy's engraving so that it comes out just right, and we will be able to engrave her Cessna-themed image properly. All right, so that's gonna happen tomorrow in the workshop. Now, local cigar shop provided me with this box as well. Leather rose. Now, I already had a leather rose box for Wendy's second build. Yes, she commissioned a second build involving a leather rose box, but I always like to have a leather rose box in my stash because they're just so popular. And so they replaced my leather rose box. And by the way, folks, the cigar shop in town is just so wonderful. I went up to the desk with the boxes after they produced them and asked them, okay, how much you want for these boxes? And they were like, no, it's free. It's free. Take them home. And I'm like, what? Now, they usually do give me boxes for free. They give me boxes all the time for free, but I don't go in there to the shop assuming that they're going to be able to gift me boxes every time I go there. So I always ask, how much you want for these? And so they've been very kind in donating these boxes. And so I don't know, I should really ask them if they're okay with me talking about their shop on YouTube, because I don't want to quote unquote dox them unless they want me to use my platform to tell people about their shop. They're so supportive. They're so supportive. And I know that they have sold cigar boxes to people in the past. They just think what I'm doing is really cool, but they would be a very good supplier for you guys out there. Maybe they'd be willing to sell boxes. I'll talk to them. I'll talk to them and see. They've helped out my business. I want to do something to help out their business as well. So the next time I see them, I'll ask, hey, do you want me to talk about your shop on YouTube and tell other cigar box guitar builders to order boxes from you guys? What do you think? And so I will ask them the next time I'm in their shop. But I did promise that I would engrave a box, a cigar box dedicated to their shop. They didn't have any designs in mind, so I'm just gonna visit their Facebook, see what their logo is like. It's a mom and pop shop. It's, you know, the branding is it is what it is. It's not unified or anything, so I don't know what they would prefer to have engraved on their box. I'll go into their Facebook and see what's popping on there, get some ideas, and I may just generate something that may work well for their in their shop. So I can't wait to do that for them. Anyway, thank you, Kathy and Martin, for being so supportive of my little crafting business. I really appreciate you guys. I don't think they'll ever run into this video, but I will I will show them this video to let them know I gave them a little discreet shout out. But again, I will ask them if they want their business to be properly shouted out on my channel, because I do want to help them out in the same way that they've helped me. Anyways, so tonight, there's the Sister of Leather Rose, Sweet Jane. Aren't these Deadwood boxes by Drew Estate are just so, the art on them is so beautiful. Look at these sisters. Leather Rose, Sweet Jane. Sweet Jane is slated to be a shorty. My 3-string CBG with movable copper frets. Or she may turn into my first dutar. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna put you guys, oh yeah. And I have my homemade matcha tea there. Oh my gosh. I think yesterday I overdid it with the matcha. I was having it during the Earworms live stream, and I just got the most uncomfortable, what I would describe coffee headache, I guess because of the amount of caffeine that's in it. During the stream I had to step away, and so I didn't load up this matcha like I did with the one yesterday, but I'm loving this matcha tea. Anyway, let's get one more look at the beautiful moon, but without the scrolling text. How about that? Without the scrolling text in the bottom. Okay. Now, I'm wondering, I'm not seeing any chats. So I want to make sure that the chat widget is properly turned on. I think it is. All right. Let's take a look at that. The moon. Yep. Frank is still here. Hey, Frank. He's just waiting for his dinner. Speaking of dinner, cat dinner at my place is going to become a lot more complicated, and that's one of the things I was sorting out in town today with my husband. Swappers, welcome to my stream, my friend. World of Swap Shop says, just going to bed, but I just saw you were live. Cheers, Swappers. Thanks for dropping in to say hello. Appreciate that. Well, all right. I'm gonna place you guys on my stand there. Frank is gonna have to wait a little longer for his dinner because I'm busy. I'm busy, Frank. I'm super busy. Yeah. Frank is the best cat daddy ever. He's taken care of both of Betty's litters, and he's very gentle with the kitties. He even cleans them. It's not behavior you would expect from a male cat. He's awesome. Right? Frank is the best cat daddy ever. And him and Betty are a legit couple. If you actually, I've never seen a cat's couple up that way before, ever. Maybe because they're both bobtails. I don't know. There's something about bobtail courtship. It's different from other cat courtship. Yes, it's very different. World of Swap Shop says, oh, how I miss Florida at this time of year. The sound of the nighttime wildlife. It does sound lovely, right, Swappers? My only issue is that I may be eaten by mosquitoes tonight. I did have a oak smoke fire going on just before the stream, and it just didn't last quite long enough to protect me throughout the stream. I may have to run into the house and get some boxes and get these sticks to smoke up again, but I don't want to right now. We'll see how far we can get, right? Right, Frank? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we are truly blessed to live in Florida. We are truly blessed. The insects are crazy, but we're still blessed. All right. Let's get down to business. Oh, Frank. Frank is going to have to wait a little longer for his dinner today. He did get a snack earlier, though, so it's not like I left him high and dry. But let me flip this camera here. Flip, because I'm going to put you guys on the stand and I can talk to you. Folks, I have 8 cats currently on the homestead. We have 8. It's Frank and Betty and 3 kittens outside. That garage looks epic. Thank you, Swappers. I appreciate it. Not the best of lighting today because I don't have any light coming in through the garage door. Maybe I'll move the lamps behind me. Let me do that. Bad lighting makes me look so much older than I am. I'm not that old, people. Anyway. We have 8 cats total on the homestead. And they like having their 2 main meals and little snacks throughout the day. Yeah, I don't give them big snacks, just little snacks throughout the day. The thing is, you know, even that, cat food, okay, just laying it out straight, cat food has seriously gotten so expensive. And those of you who have cats know that you can't just feed them any type of wet food. You know, you can go out and buy Friskies for cheap, give it to them. None of my cats can have Friskies. For some reason, they just throw it up. And there are other brands of food that do that to them. So the only things that their stomachs can tolerate are Fancy Feast and Shiva, the most expensive pods or cans you can get. So I kid you not, with all of these kitties, I was going through a little more than, this is gonna sound insane, 2 boxes a week. And that's for me, for our situation, you know, we're trying to get a business up and running and doing better. You know, for our budget, that was not acceptable. We couldn't do that. So I started researching about how to make my own wet food. And I ran into a few videos. And at first I was very scared because I saw a bunch of people buying fowl, like whole birds and quails and pieces of rabbit to feed to their cats. How about the wildlife? Do they hunt? Yes, seed swappers. Maybe I'm spoiling my outdoor kitties too much because they do hunt. I haven't seen Betty catch anything, but she nearly caught a rabbit. Not too long ago, I saw her run after one. My late cat Inga used to catch squirrels all the time, and I used to, when she was alive, I used to find squirrel bits everywhere all the time, but I'm not seeing that anymore. So I'm guessing Frank and Betty are not squirrel cats, but Betty is certainly a rabbit cat. And Betty eats cicadas. I've seen her catch and eat cicadas. They're like this big. She likes them. But yeah, I know that they do hunt. In the winter, when mice get into our house, they don't stand a chance with Joser. So, and we don't use any chemicals around the house to, you know, eliminate pests, because we know that they catch and eat bugs and rodents. But it's not, I mean, I want to be able to feed my kitties good. And I also want to treat my budget good. I want to treat our pocketbook well. So I researched. Yes, crunchy. Yes, cicadas are very, very crunchy. It was disgusting, but hey, she likes them, so whatever. But so I did some research. I got a little bit scared because I saw hardcore people who, you know, it's like, if you really, really, really care about your cat, you're gonna feed them, you know, prey, stuff that they would catch in the wild. And so there's these businesses that sell quail and different things for people to buy to give to their cats. And that to me is, wow, that is dedication. But I'm sure that that is way, way the heck more. It would defeat the purpose, because I'm trying to feed all my kitties healthy on a budget. So I did some research, looked into cooked homemade wet food, and I finally decided, there's some debate as to whether to put this or not to put this. I watched a few videos, some by holistic vets, and I decided that I am going to Instapot dark meat chicken with bones weekly for my cats. And you know, just take the liquid and all the liquid with the yummy nutrients in it, and take the meat apart, take out the bones, grind it up, and put them in some glass jars. I've been collecting glass jars to do crafts forever, so I have plenty of glass jars to store their food properly in the refrigerator. And then I did some research and found supplements that you add to homemade cat food to make sure that they're getting absolutely all the nutrients they did, because if you cook meat, you lose some vitamins that they would get if they were eating prey. And I made sure to source a supplement that all the vitamins and minerals were natural. They weren't artificially made, because artificially made supplements are not, Joser's in here now, are not bioavailable to cats, and they can cause allergies. So I found a good one, and I found a good cat probiotic, and I will be mixing this into their food. Gavin, oh, we have a derailer. I finally have a derailer in my stream. Thank you, Gavin. Gavin says, if you want to try a new supplement, test them on Lawrence first. Lawrence kind of has a cat digestive system. Yeah, I'm sure that, yeah. Human testing. Test it on humans for cats, absolutely. Yeah. I'll ask Lawrence about it. I think he'll take one for the kitties. These are our babies. By the way, folks, I'm a little nervous because Joser he heard me and he saw that I was in the workshop, and he came in here knowing that Frank is in here. So I'm hoping that a cat fight will not ensue here right now. Right now, they're sort of tolerating each other. They're sitting a few feet away from each other. But Chocho, do you want to say hello? You want to say hello, Chocho? Joser will come in with me later, but I can't bring him into the house right now because Londo's watching around, and I have to bring him onto the porch. Don't warn him. Okay, Gavin, I won't. But wouldn't that be breaking with tradition? Shouldn't I always be warning people, Gavin? I warned you. I warned you. So, alrighty. I guess Joser figured out that we're not gonna be going in just yet, and he's gonna find a spot that's not gonna aggravate Frank too much. Frank loves stealing Joser's space. Oh, he's approaching me. Let me move away from Joser. Anyway. Frank! What are you doing? Frank! Frank, stop it. Okay, Joser's moving off, because I guess Frank is intimidating him. Frank likes to steal all of Joser's spaces, and Joser was here first. Just feel so bad for my 9-year-old kitty. Has to put up with all of these newbies disrespecting him. Well, folks, what we're going to do today in the workshop, we're going to gild this thing, this ruined box, and if we have time tomorrow after working Wendy's box, we're going to attempt the cat currency engraving with new settings. All right. I like the smokiness, but I want to see if I can engrave onto copper foil without producing any smokiness. I got new settings that I want to try, and but But eventually, smoky or not, all of these Cat Currency boxes will become cigar box guitars. So I'm excited about that. But I guess before we get to gilding, I can play a little late night music for you guys, unplugged. Let's keep it quiet because I don't want to wake up the neighbors. This PV amp does pack a punch. It really does. All right. So I'll be playing a little tune with Cat Tabak. This is why I call this cigar box guitar Cat Tabak. It was my very first cigar box guitar. And of course, I love Cat so much that my first cigar box guitar had to feature a cat on the headstock. And so this is my first CBG. Thank you, Gavin. It isn't a perfect build, but I must say it's still one of my best builds. It sounds, they all have their own unique sound. I really, when it comes to cigar box guitars, it's like picking between, if somebody were to ask me, which one's your favorite build? It's like picking between your cats. Who's your favorite cat? They're all my children. They all are unique in their own way. The same thing with cigar box guitars. And no two instruments are alike. They all have their own unique character. World of Swap Shop says, look at that. Yeah. All right, let's play some Cat Tabak. And you know, these kitties, they love cigar box guitar music. They really do. Now, this is a slider. What you see there are fret markers. They're wood burnt and they're not real frets. They're just playing guides. So this is purely a slider, not really meant for fingering, although with Cat Tabak you kind of can, depending where you are on the fretboard. But you need a slide to play Cat Tabak. And this is my favorite slide because it fits my hand perfectly, because it is one of my hand-shaped terracotta slides. I made this thing from beginning to end. Swapper says, I'm about to drop off here, but I'll leave the stream on for some ASMR serenading. Oh, I'd be happy to do that for you, Swappers. Enjoy. Enjoy, Swappers. Enjoy. By the way, folks, if you've not gone to the channel, Star Wars Retold, I'm giving you the side eye here. Go to the YouTube channel Star Wars Retold. Listen to episode 1 through 13. You're going to be treated to the best Star Wars fan fiction that there is out there, period. I know those of you, everyone who watches my channel knows about Star Wars Retold, I think. But just reminding you, go support some real Star Wars. All right, let's do some serenading. Actually, I need to lift this. I thought I had everything squared away. No, I gotta lift this up. Try not to be too loud so I don't wake up Swappers or the neighbors. Here we go. Here we go. You guys probably can hear the crickets in the background. Gavin says, I subscribe to Star Wars Retold. Good for you, Gavin. And I'm warning you, Gavin, this is going to be the best Star Wars you've heard in a long time. Don't say that you haven't been warned, Gavin. Okay. Terracotta, handmade terracotta slide. Let's see what it sounds like. All right. to move you back a little bit. Back. I'm a bit out of tune. I think we can take a little bit of power from the amp. What do you guys think? Let's give it a little gentle boost. Not too loud. I'll lower the volume on the amp. I'm gonna plug into my PV amp, which is my brand new, well, it's not brand new, it's a 40-year-old amp. It's almost as old as me. You know, the old new amp that we have in the garage, just dedicated for the workshop. So let's plug it in, plug it in, plug it in, plug it in. Okay. Oh no. Frank and Joser are still in here. They're sitting in different locations. Now that's good. Make sure that our volume isn't too high. Okay. All right, Frank, hold on. Ooh. Okay. What is it, Jojo? Whoa. Okay. Okay, I'm plugged into the PV. To the PV amp. There's a little bit of spring reverb set up for us right now. Gavin says, sounds sweet. Thank you, Gavin. All right. Okay, let's get to our gilding mission. And we can enjoy. Jojo, what's going on? What's going on, my dear? Joser's like, I want my dinner right now. The thing is, I can't give him his dinner right now because dinner is still in the process of being made. And so he has to wait a little longer today. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And he's also complaining that Frank is in here. So, Chocho, we're on a mission right now, okay? We're on a mission. All right. Yes. Yes, we are. Oh, he is. He is super upset right now. He's super upset with me because I don't have any dinner for him right at this moment. He's gonna get dinner at the same time everyone else is gonna get dinner. And that's when it's done. Yep. Yep. I gotta take apart the chicken and get it ready to serve. So he has to wait a little bit longer. Yes. Okay. Besides, if we don't get this box gilded, we won't have a side quest for tomorrow's stream. So we got to get this gilded. Don't worry, folks. I will get it gilded quickly so Joser can have his dinner. All right. I'm hoping that we have enough copper foil to gild the entire lid of this box. But if we don't, for this experiment, I don't mind mixing metal leaves. I also have this silver foil to work with in case I run out of stuff. I also got my matcha tea. It's ASMR for swappers. Jojo, you don't like matcha tea. No. I'm gonna have a bit of this and we'll get to gilding, my friends. Jojo, stop being mean. Stop being mean to me, Jojo. Ooh. Seeing that Maldon bucket back there reminds me. What is it, Jojo? Oh, folks. He's got to have his pets, his food, his everything right now. He's not. Cats do not wait. They're not patient. No, Jojo. You want pets? You want to be petted? Petting. You're gonna get special chicken today, Jojo. Here I have some terracotta that I've rehydrated. Still needs more evaporation. It's not ready to work with just yet, but I'm gonna leave the container open so the water continues. Something just landed on me and I don't know what it is. Oh gosh, folks. Oh gosh, hold the phone. It's green, oh no, don't tell that to me, Gavin. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this out of, I'm gonna try to get it out of my shirt, excuse me. Hold on. Whoa. Go away. Whoa. Goodness gracious. Whoa. It says that smoke disrupts the nervous system of flying insects. I really should have that fire pit going. I have Joser sitting right next to Frank. I'm hoping that they don't start fighting. So if you see me, well, you'll hear it too. You'll know what's going on. All right. Relax, Jojo. Relax. It was green, Gavin. I didn't see what type of insect went down into the back of my shirt. I don't know. So, well, at least if it's green, I know it's not poisonous. So, anyway, gonna leave this open to continue evaporating. Still have these guitar slides to repair. I gotta fill in those pinholes and fire them up in the kiln again. So we haven't forgotten about our slides, and we haven't forgotten about these badly glazed slides. I have to fix these as well. Haven't forgotten about these. This is going to happen as well, folks. We just have to get through a few more projects before we could get back to slide making. All right, so, okay. We got to cover the lid of this box with some metal leaf adhesive. My favorite metal leaf, folks, is copper foil. Of course, the foil that I'm working with isn't 100% copper, but it's still lovely. And so let me get a brush. I got a bunch of disposable brushes here that I can use. I try to clean my brushes, folks, and I have a ton of whatchamacallit, it's brush cleaners and paint removers, and they've not worked to allow me to recycle brushes after they complete a job, a sticky job like this. But I just buy cheap brushes from Dollar General and I'm good. I don't try to refurb my brushes anymore. I just find it's a waste of time. I would like to. It would save me a penny here and there if I could do that. But yeah, it's not worked for me. Okay, let's get the metal adhesive evenly coated, evenly distributed onto this box, and hopefully no more insects will fly into my shirt so that we can complete this task without any mishaps. Yes, there we go. All right. Gavin says, oh, Gavin has 2 comments here. That's a fancy lamp for a workshop. Well, Gavin, those were lamps in my husband's mother's house. And we had them when we moved in and we weren't using them for anything. So I kind of usurped them and brought them into the workshop. So I like fancy lamps. Gavin says ammonia is good for brush cleaning, but it stinks. Gavin also says window cleaner like Windex contains ammonia. Hey, so okay, I will try Windex, Gavin, and see if I can clean my brushes that way. Hey, we got Jeff Elliott, CBG superstar, in the chat, folks. Welcome, Jeff. Jeff says, hello, Liza. Looks like you got the box you needed. Yes. And, yeah, my mom and pop cigar shop, Jeff, is so great. They gave this to me for free. And they also gave me a leather rose for free. Look at that. So, they are so generous, Jeff. I promised to engrave a box for them. I'm still thinking about a design. The owner of the shop, the pop and the mom and pop, he's from Scotland. So I'm thinking of like a hybrid between the shop name and a coat of arms. That I mean, a fantasy coat of arms, something that would be meaningful to them. So I'm gonna go into their Facebook, their shop Facebook, and see if I can come up with a design that they'd be interested to display in their shop. All right, so I'm getting this metal adhesive going. I have to get it going because we have to wait a bit to apply the metal leaf. Right now it's white, it's opaque white. And once it becomes transparent, we can apply our metal leaf onto it. Okay. And I believe in the past, my application of adhesive has been a little too conservative, so I'm gonna try to not thin it out so much. Okay. So here we go. But yeah, this box was Wendy's ruined box. Nothing here is truly ruined. It'll get repurposed or used for something else. So no beautiful cigar box ever goes to waste here, even if I mess it up with an engraving, with a bad engraving, that is. We're still going to use the same Cessna design, but I'm going to change the engraver setting so that we get the type of lines we want. Jeff says, awesome, I like those leather rose boxes. Jeff, I haven't met a single person that doesn't ooh and ah these beautiful leather rose boxes. But you know what I wish they would do, Jeff? I wish they would take the full color art on the inside of the box and somehow print it onto the outside. I do like this muted gold. I do like it. But I think like this design is so beautiful. This should be on the outside of the box, right, Jeff? Anyway, what I'm going to try to do is, it's very hard to salvage this sticker, although it's a very thick sticker on the inside. I'm going to try to salvage this panel on the inside and maybe put it onto a piece of scrap wood to display somewhere here in the workshop, because I just love this Dia de los Muertos art. Yeah, so yeah, just really love this leather rose design. So now I have 2 of these boxes, but they're both already taken for projects. The leather rose that I have inside is in much better condition than this one. And that one's going for Wendy. Wendy has commissioned a second cigar box guitar made with a leather rose. And this one is for a cigar box bass that I've been promising Lawrence forever. I know it's not an appropriate size for a bass, but since we need the bass for our musical set, our evolving musical set, and when we perform we're going to be plugged in anyway, I mean, for piezo this is fine. And so it's going to be a 2-string bass. Oh, there goes that bug again, Gavin. Again, waiting for the adhesive to become transparent so that we can apply our copper leaf. Jeff says, I've built 2 of them, 2 bases. This will be my first cigar box bass, Jeff. It's going to be a 2-stringer short scale bass. Still a regular 25-inch scale length, but made with Martin & Co. wound short scale bass strings. Gavin says, glue the lid on upside down so that the color is on the outside. The thing is, Gavin, unfortunately, this is paper that's glued inside the box. And for my instruments, I use the top of the lid as the soundboard. So that leather, that paper inside the lid is going to inhibit the vibration of the lid. So we got to remove that paper. What I'm trying to figure out is, can I remove it without damaging it, so I can maybe glue this onto a plank to decorate the workshop? Glue the lid upside down so that the color is on the V-box. Jeff says no, guitars out of leather rose boxes. Oh, guitars. You've built guitars. Have you built any basses, Jeff? Any CB basses? Again, I'm going to cheat a little because my bass is going to be short scale, and I'm going to manage the tension on the 2 strings by buying short scale bass strings made for kids. These are Martin & Co. nylon wound strings that are not going to apply too much tension onto the neck, but they vibrate well enough to produce good bass tones. Yeah, Martin & Co. They're the only ones that I was able to find short scale bass strings that would be appropriate for, you know, for a build where you don't want too much tension on the neck, because I'm using pine boards. I do have some very hard gum tree boards, but I don't know how. I haven't figured out how to process them yet. They're so hard and they're very wide. Gavin is asking, could you close the lid and cut a hole on the bottom of the box and see the picture through the hole? You know, the king of cigar box guitars has done that. Shane Spiel. He's made peepholes on his cigar box guitars where you could look through the hole and see a picture of whatever you want. But actually making a sound hole in the back would increase the acoustic loudness of the instrument. It certainly helped the player out. He can hear himself better. The problem is, Gavin, is that I have to remove this panel completely from the lid of the box. So I want to move this and preserve it and put it somewhere else. Jeff says, yes, he's built one bass out of a diesel cigar box, 4-string bass. What type of wood did you use for the neck, Jeff? Again, all I got are salvaged pine boards and gum boards, gum wood boards, and those gum tree boards are so hard. I don't know how to approach processing them. But what do you use for your cigar box bases. Now, again, I'm not too afraid to use pine with them because I'm using these low tension Martin & Co strings, but just curious. Joser's calmed down. He's realized that I'm not ready to go in and give him dinner just yet, so he's just chilling out with Frank here. Frank is dead asleep. He's relaxing. I like seeing the kitties relax together. I'm liking this matcha too much, folks. I think I'm liking it as much as I like my coffee, and you guys know how I like my coffee. I'm the biggest coffee snob there is, and this tea is making me happy. It's very unusual. Anyway, our metal adhesive is not yet transparent. Gotta give it some time. Gotta give it some time. I wonder, maybe I don't have to wait for the adhesive to completely become transparent. Should I break the rules on the package? I really want the copper leaf to stick. Now that I'm looking at it, I see that I keep missing spots. Okay, no. We gotta apply more metal leaf adhesive. Jeff says, I made it out of oak and walnut. 3-piece neck looks really cool. Do you combine the wood for strength or for sonic reasons, or is it just visually very beautiful, Jeff? That's interesting. You know, oh man, if I could go back and take wood shop in high school, I would. I never saw myself doing this when I was a kid. You know, I was a music kid. You know, I started taking my first piano lessons in high school. Took my first guitar lesson in high school. And I was a good student, but it wasn't the instrument for me. I was in choir. I was in every, you know, in anything I could participate in. And then I started preparing for college auditions. And, but I trained to be a composer. And so, music theory heavy curriculum, and wrote a lot of music for standard classical ensembles and stuff, but never saw myself doing this. And now I'm kicking myself. I really should have taken woodshop in high school. Jeff says, I made it. Jeff says, his oak and walnut neck is for strength. and looks. I like it, Jeff. I like it. All right. I'm gonna try to apply the adhesive this way and see if I can get more coverage. I really don't want to have to apply more leaf than necessary because I didn't apply enough adhesive. Yeah, I always make the same mistake. I'm too conservative with the adhesive. Now I could be overdoing it, but we'll see. We shall see. You'll catch my last video where I tripped twice in the workshop. I took clips from my last live stream and produced a video that just focused on the musical breakthroughs I made during the live stream. But in the process of making those musical breakthroughs, I tripped twice in the workshop, and I left them in as bloopers in the video. So if you want to laugh a little, go and check it out. It's the latest video on my channel. Okay, now we can wait. I'm pretty confident that that is enough adhesive. What do you guys think? Jeff says, I'll have to send you a picture of it. I made it for Crystal, but she hasn't played it yet. Well, she may just pick it up one day and surprise you, Jeff. You never know. But a lot of people who, for example, who've bought my guitars just buy them, not so much because it's a functioning musical instrument, but it's pretty and they want to display it in their homes. I don't ask. But I've always given musicians a discount because I want people to play them, make videos with them. So far, the only client that has made videos with my cigar box guitars is King Dolphin TV. Shout out to Raymond, my buddy King Dolphin TV. But I think Wendy will also make some videos with her leather rose box. Wendy's a very adventurous person. I think she will. There was one cigar box guitar that I sold during a craft market, and the kid who bought it just picked it up. He was an incredible slide player and goes, "Oh, it's much easier with just 3 strings and the string height." And he just was shredding with the slide, and I asked him, "Can I please film this for my YouTube channel?" And yeah, I still have that video up on my shorts. Oh, she's played your upright bass in the past. Cool. Cool. Maybe bass is her instrument, Jeff. Everyone has. Wondering, why didn't I have cigar box guitars in my youth? Man, I would have been so good by now. This is my instrument. After all of these years experimenting with different instruments, I finally found my instrument. It is the cigar box guitar. It's not guitar. It's the cigar box guitar. It's not piano. It's not even really voice. Well, sort of. It depends on the type of music. But this is my instrument. Wish I would have found it in my youth. But don't worry, folks. I plan to have many years ahead of me. So at one point, You'll see me shred on a cigar box guitar, don't worry. But if you want to see me fall down while playing a cigar box guitar, check out the last video I uploaded. Oh, Jeff says, Crystal, she sings great harmony with me too. That's beautiful. You know, that in itself is a very hard musical skill to develop, Jeff. There are musicians coming out of music schools that cannot harmonize vocally with a melody. That's something that I've learned to do on my own, and I know that most people who can do it have learned it on their own without having any training. You know, they just have good ears. So that is a gift, Jeff. That's really, really cool. I'm pretty good at doing it by ear after I really know a song really well, but I do it better, you know, planned, sitting down, thinking about intervals and stuff. But it's really a gift to be able to harmonize with another singer just off the bat. You and Crystal should record a song and post it up to your YouTube. When am I gonna see a Jeff and Crystal band on YouTube? You guys probably have a much more interesting name. If you were a band, Jeff, if you and Crystal were an ensemble, what would you call yourselves? Oh my gosh, Gavin, that's the thing. That's the green thing that you saw. Look. It's a grasshopper. Folks, that was the grasshopper that was in my shirt. It's just flying around indiscriminately around the workshop and Gavin saw what happened. Wait, let me see if I can zoom into it. Where are you, grasshopper? There you go. Zoom into the grasshopper. Look what's flying around my workshop late at night, folks. Grasshopper. Don't be flying around this way, though. Go that way. Go away. Gavin, you did warn me. You did warn me, Gavin. I could hear Gavin in my head. I warned you. That's the green thing that flew into my shirt. And it's big. Ooh. I'm not gonna mess with it. Don't worry, I'm not gonna mess with it. I just want it to just go away, though. I don't want to have to be dealing with a grasshopper. Jeff says, we had a bluegrass band years ago. That's where she learned it. Oh, Jeff, then why aren't you guys making videos? I want to hear you guys play and sing together. Let's do it, Jeff. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Do you hear the grasshopper kung fu reference? I certainly heard it, weird guy, when it flew into me. Oh man, it didn't feel very good. I don't know why it's indiscriminately just flying around the workshop. Doesn't it know it's dangerous around here? You know? Ah, grasshopper, says Gavin Unit. Yeah. Are we talking about the 90s Kung Fu show, guys? I know there's an older series, but the only Kung Fu I saw was in the 90s, where the main character was he was kind of like a Kung Fu martial arts priest, and he had a son who worked for the police department. That's the Kung Fu I remember. Jeff says, we'll have to do that. Yes, you do, Jeff. Yes, you do. Gavin Unit says, why do insects insist on being so close to humans? Oh, I heard it move again. I did hear that, grasshopper. Ooh. He says, don't they know we have raid? I don't know, Jeff. I think he senses that I'm too scared to even get close enough to it to spray it with anything. Not that I would. I don't want to mess with this poor grasshopper, but 70s TV show, David Carradine. Yes. I think he also played the Kung Fu Master in the 90s series, but of course he played a father and an older Kung Fu Master in the newer series. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good show, but I do have to check out the 70s TV show as well. I've heard good things about it, weird guy. I love martial arts movies. It desires the lamp. Yeah, you know what? Maybe grasshoppers like fancy lamps too. Oh no, I hear Betty threatening Joser. Let me see what's going on. Kitties! Let me turn you guys around. Let me see what's going on with Betty and Joser. Kitties, no fighting. Kitties. Oh, forgot my flashlight. It's super dark out there. Can't see anything, but I came equipped with a flashlight. Also, Bill from Kill Bill. Yep, I did see Kill Bill. I didn't like his character in Kill Bill. I don't like seeing him as a bad guy. He made such a good Kung Fu priest. I like him as a good guy. Kitties? Kitties? What is it, Jojo? Is Betty there? What's going on? I heard Betty kind of complain and growl at Joser, but he's just out there eating grass. He's not bothering anyone. I don't see her anymore. Jeff says, just reach down and grab it and throw it outside. He won't bite. He might spit some tobacco on you. Oh gosh. Jeff, I'm not I don't grab bugs. I'll try to get it on a stick. Okay, hold on. And I don't need it spitting tobacco either. No. Okay, let's see. All right. I think this is gonna take forever to turn transparent, but it's not tacky enough yet. All right. Let's see if we can save this grasshopper. This was made by Jeff, folks, master craftsman. Got some pickup parts in here. CB Giddy templates in here. Won't be sourcing these tuners again, folks. It let me down once, it's not gonna let me down again. I will be working with some premium CB Giddy tuners. They have these beautiful, they're called Piedmont tuners. They're heavy metal, chrome tune. They have one in chrome and then another in gold color. They're heavy duty tuners, so I'll just be getting them from CB Giddy. You know, I liked working with these because, you know, they were unique looking. They've never failed on me before, but they failed King Dolphin, so I will not be doing these anymore, folks. Jeff says, you're a farm girl now. Oh, I don't know, Jeff. With insects, I do not know. Let me grab a piece of wood and see if I can kind of get it to climb on it, and then I can put it out of the workshop. Yes. All right, grasshopper. Got this long piece of cedar. Let's see if we can get it to climb on the cedar. Ah! Where'd it go? Oh, it just went behind the lamp. Well, that's not good enough, Gavin, isn't it? Gold would go well with your ashy cat engraving. It would, weird guy. It would add. I do have gold foil, but I'm saving it for a project. I gotta get some more gold foil over at the art supply store in Lake City. My nearest town doesn't have an art supply store, but Lake City, the town besides, you know, we're 30 minutes away from the closest town. So it's not in the closest town, it's the one beyond that. So I make my materials last as long as possible, but I do got some gold foil reserved for a project. But my favorite's copper. I need more copper foil, but I will get some gold foil. Maybe I should have said smoky. Yeah, I like the smoky look on the smoky. You're right, weird guy. The smoky look would look great on gold leaf. All right, I'm still trying to figure out how to get this grasshopper to go away without touching it. So oh, man, he doesn't want to leave. Oh, you mean the tuner's hardware? Yeah, it would be nice to have more variety of tuners and tuning keys, but right now what I'm focusing on is finding ones that won't fail on me and won't fail on my customers. Just cannot have that happen. Now with these that are left over, I have an idea for these as an experiment for me, for my own builds that aren't going to go out to anyone else. I want to remove the plastic tuning keys, and I want to do some metal slumped keys with metallic inclusions made with copper leaf or gold leaf. But weird guys, since the gold leaf that I'm using and the copper leaf I'm using is not 100% gold or 100% copper, there's a chemical reaction is gonna happen in the kiln, and there's gonna be like a smoke surrounding the according to my research, surrounding the metal inside that's inside of the glass after it's slumped. So we're gonna attempt to get a smoky tuner look going with some salvaged glass and some cheap copper leaf and cheap gold leaf. So yeah, you may get your wish, weird guy, but in a different way. But yep. Would be nice to find high quality tuners with interchangeable keys. But the ones that are available in luthier shops are just so expensive. I need something cheaper. Because if I like the process of making my keys, I want to be able to buy more of those keys with bare shafts, and I don't want to get into something that's too expensive. So, where did the grasshopper go? Did he leave? He left. Okay, I'm gonna assume that he left, because there's a moth. Whoa, now the moths want to land on my camera. I should have gone indoors to get some more kindling for the fire to keep all the insects away. Yeah, there are moths and beetles around for no reason whatsoever. Look at that. Frank. All right, let's see if this glue is tacky enough. Let's see. Ooh, I think it is tacky enough. Weird guy says, my Epiphone Les Paul is black with gold hardware. I'm sort of biased. That sounds like a beautiful Les Paul, weird guy. That does indeed sound like a beautiful guitar. I'd be biased too. All right. I think it's tacky enough. Got insects landing on my cigar box. All right, I think it's tacky enough to apply the leaf. So here we go. That's why I chose a container with a lid, because all of these bugs would be all over my matcha. How dare they? Here we go. And this goes into the fire pit. And here we go. Some pretty copper leaf. I love copper. I love, love, love copper leaf. It's not 100% copper, but it's still nice. It's super nice. Did I apply the right amount this time? Maybe I did. What is it, Frank? Frank's like, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Jeff says, I've bought some black tuners from Amazon. They were reasonably priced. Yeah, Amazon has been, I mean, I've been buying tuners from Amazon from the very beginning. Most of the brands, using that word loosely on Amazon, have come out to be garbage. There was one time where I bought like a huge box of tuners, and more than half had no tension to them at all. So it was, my mom has a saying, lo barato sale caro. That translates to, the cheap comes out to be expensive in the long run. And so, but the only cheap or brand on Amazon that I thought was pretty and worked well were these. They changed, you know how Amazon brands are, the names change from, you know, one day you'll come in and they're called Max Cheer, and another day they're called Zusifa or something. The names of the brands on Amazon change. But these have worked out for me for a long time, and then they failed on King Dolphin, so I'm afraid to source anymore. Music Lily has been good brand for me. I've used Music Lily too. Weird guy. I've used it. I recognize the name. But yeah, I'm just gonna go for like surefire, you know, quality guaranteed tuners, because my folks, I'm not the most expensive CBG, you know, I don't charge the most for CBGs, but what I charge, you know, isn't cheap, and I want to make sure that I don't have any dissatisfied clients with tuners that break. I still have plenty of these, and I'm going to use them on builds for me, but I'm feeling a little insecure about these. So apart from the premium open open tuners on CB Giddy, I'm also keeping an eye open just to have more variety. Because sometimes you don't want gold and you don't want chrome. You want, you know, something matte black or another color. So keeping an eye for another quality brand that isn't gonna break the bank. Oh no, I've used up all of my copper leaf. But you know what, folks? This gives me kindling for the fire, and maybe I can keep the insects away. Let's I don't know, Gavin. Is there a presidential brand tuner? They would be the best tuners. I don't know. I think CB Getty sources locally made stuff. I could be wrong about that, but they do have quality stuff, you know. I have, you know what, I haven't checked either. MGB Guitars, they're in Florida. I haven't checked their inventory, but I'm looking specifically for you know, those old style machine tuners. Yes. So Gavin, you won't be able to warn me anymore because I'm gonna make those oak logs smoke up a little bit to keep the insects away from the bench. Now that I got some kindling to work with, there's no more copper foil in this. So sorry, Gavin, you won't be able to warn us anymore. Because there'll be nothing to warn us about. Unless a rabbit comes into the workshop. That would be something. That would be something very scary. 'Tis the rabbit. Oh yes. We don't want any rabbits in the workshop. We just need these twigs to smoke up a little bit. Just need those twigs to smoke up a little bit and give us some insect. Supposedly, at least with mosquitoes, smoke disrupts their nervous system and they can't fly. Plus aromatic smoke from like oak is good for keeping things bug free. But let's see, come on now. That paper, it's not working as, it's not as good of a kindling as I thought it would be. It isn't as good. Come on now. Come on now. Light up. Light up. Light up. It isn't good kindling at all. What's this paper made out of? The problem is, okay, I think I see what the problem is. Not enough oxygen. Okay, there we go. Need you to light up, to smoke up some oak logs here. That's all. Just need you to smoke up some oak logs. Let's do it. You can do it. Let's go. The humidity doesn't help either, but we can get it going, I think. maybe. Now we're gonna need some boxes that I have in the house to really light up those oak logs, folks. Let me just go in and grab them. I should have brought a few out with me. I need my flashlight to traverse the homestead at this time, because there's more than just grasshoppers out there, folks. There's more than just grasshoppers. There's Frank. Frank is a deadly predator. Frank is guarding the workshop. I mean the predators that are out there next to the oak grove there. Yeah. Can you guys see that? Oh, I guess I have to get closer. All right. Not a lot of light out here right now. Oh, Joser's here. Now he's gonna want to go indoors, but we can't because. Hold on, Jojo. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to get Londo onto the porch. Hold on, Joser. I might have to get Londo onto the porch, but okay, he's not following me anymore, so I could just grab some. I can just grab some boxes, and then I can continue working, and then I can take care of Joser and his dinner and stuff. All right. No, Betty. Got tons of boxes here. Might as well use them. Alright. Oh no, there's Londo. No, Betty. Choo 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 choo. Oh, that was a close call, folks. That was a close call. Londo. He's a sweet cat to humans, but he's completely intolerant of other adult male cats. He nearly killed Frank and Joser, attacking him one time. I've never seen a cat get so vicious. And he does not let up. I know that that's unnatural behavior for a cat, so he must have gone through some type of cat trauma in his childhood, but he's very dangerous to other male cats. And so during the day he's in the house when Joser's out. So Joser comes in at night and Londo sleeps on our porch at night. We keep them separated. We keep Londo separated from every other cat. Londo's made friends with Brufina, which is one of the kittens we rescued from Betty's first litter, and he gets along with her fine. So they're both inside the house during the day. Londo goes out into the porch at night. I'm running a little bit late in the workshop here. Londo should already be on the porch, but gotta get stuff done, and then we can let Londo, we can give him his dinner, put him on the porch, bring in Joser. So, but we gotta finish this because I need that box ready for our side quest tomorrow. Can't have a side quest without a Gilded cigar box. So, all right, let's light up those oak sticks so we get a little bit of smoke coming into the workshop and keep all those nasty insects away. So, let's get this going. I think we'll be okay. This is plenty good kindling. Plenty good kindling, I think. Oh yeah. Oh yes, there we go. Ah, there goes our campfire, yes. Very, very nice. That's the smoke we need. That is exactly the smoke we need for inside the workshop. And so those pesky grasshoppers and moths shouldn't bother us anymore. Been lucky. Haven't had to deal with mosquitoes this evening, which is unusual. Are we getting a bit of fall weather coming in? Because that's when the mosquitoes go away. I hope so. Alright. So we'll let that do its thing. It's giving us plenty of smoke to work with. There we go. Plenty of smoke to work with. Jeff says, time to go, Liza. Talk to you later. Talk to you later, Jeff. Thanks for joining me tonight. Good night, sweet dreams. All right, folks. Let's finish our gilding adventures. Now, we did run out of copper foil, so we're going to continue our gilding adventures with some silver metal leaf. This will be an interesting engraving. Some copper, some silver. Interesting. The smoke we needed. Perfect. Where's the cricket now? Gavin, I think your warnings made him go away. I think he was warned and he took your warning. Oh man, no, Gavin, he's behind the green cigar box. He's still there. He doesn't want to leave. I didn't know grasshoppers liked cigar box guitars. All right. Well, hopefully the smoke that's coming in here now will deter him. He'll go away. Mess with somebody else. Some bits of that we didn't cover on the other edge. I know. Not the most precise application of gilding. But we're trying, folks, we're trying. I like it with a little bit of texture because it diffuses the light better. Little bit of texture is good. Too much, not so good. Things flying around. The smoke fire went out and we got insects flying around again. Use the excess on this side. Shiny. Oh, Gavin, you have no idea. Look at this. Look at this. See, I warned you, Gavin. I warned you. Little. Okay, I'm gonna try to plug those holes. Be very careful. Now, oh, come on. So the bits where I didn't quite apply enough adhesive are the bits where the holes are. Oh, there's a little hole there. So I plug them up as best as I can. But I brought some up with my fingers now. This is not sticky at all. So. Okay. All right. So, folks, we're gonna leave that to dry overnight. And then tomorrow, when we're back in the workshop working on Wendy's new engraving, we're gonna apply metal sealer to this. And after the sealer has dried for another 24 hours, we will be able to laser engrave this. And I'm going to try brand new settings. We're gonna try to engrave this design again, except I'm going to increase the engraving speed so that the laser doesn't stay on a spot for too long, causing the image to smoke up a bit. So, not that the smoky image is ugly. It's beautiful, this image. I love it. But I want to see, I want to know what settings I need to produce a totally clean image on metal foil or on metal leaf. So hopefully that box was engraved at 850 millimeters per minute. We're gonna bump this up to 1,000. We're gonna bring the speed up to 1,000. What's cool is you can kind of see Wendy's old engraving underneath. It gives the metal some texture, kind of like an intaglio texture on, I don't know. That's what I think when I see the lines peeking through underneath the foil. So, all right. All right. So folks, we finished our workshop adventures for the night. Thank you for joining me tonight, Gavin, Jeff, Weird Guy. Who else was in here? Oh, and World of Swap Shop. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And Gavin, thank you for helping to derail things tonight. I really enjoyed tonight's derailment. I don't know how you did it with the grasshopper, but that was the best stream derailment I've ever seen. So thank you, Gavin. He warned us. He comes into the stream and he warns us about his derailings, and he delivers on his warnings. So, all right, folks. Thank you, Gavin. It's been great having you here too. Good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Chaito.